Yamaha have been building motorcycles for a long time now, and back in '98 they launched the 600 Fazer, which received mixed responses from the world's bike press. When the Honda Hornet was launched, it kind of put the Fazer in the shade a little, but Yamaha are back with a vengeance, because 2002 the Fazer has had quite a facelift. It's now a bike that you wouldn't mind owning, and it's far less likely to polarise than the previous model. I think we can safely say it looks like a nice move forward for the FZS. Looking at the new bike, apart from the fairing, nothing appears to have changed that much, but that's until you really look around the bike and you start to notice all those little touches, and then you realise how much of an upgrade it is. But looking good and performance are two very different things. But the Fazer certainly doesn't disappoint. With its pliant engine, easy and forgiving gearbox, the bike really doesn't do anything wrong. But on the other hand, you also can't rave about it, certainly not if you're a sports bike fan. The new nose fairing is based on the Fazer 1000 and gives the bike a sleeker new look. It's also home to a nice pair of eagle-eyed headlights. Mirrors are redesigned and you won't be stopping at the fuel station quite as often, as a larger 22-litre tank with its R1 style filler cap will give you more miles of smiles. The dashboard boasts a new digital clock. There's an adjustable brake lever. Oh, and talking of brakes, donated from the R1, the single cast calipers are a joy to use, producing massive power from just a little single-fingered application. Feel at the lever is absolutely superb, and although overall feedback through the front end is a little vague, you're never in any doubts as to what's happening underneath you. Now the heart of the Fazer is donated by Yamaha's Thundercat. It's a 600cc water-cooled engine, and I tell you what, that power delivery is so smooth, it accelerates so well, and it's so well behaved, coupled with that 6-speed gearbox, which is really slick, again donated from the Thundercat. You've got yourself a really sorted bike. Add to that, of course, great handling, and for a bike that weighs in at 189 kilograms, I think it feels incredibly light. I'm not a big fan of heavy bikes, but I had no problem with manoeuvring this bike around town, and I certainly didn't have a problem down the motorway with the addition of this new sleek fairing that helps keep the wind off your bonnet. Well, I think that the Fazer certainly deserves 7 out of 10. You see, this bike can't really do anything wrong, and it does everything so right. I will go as far as to say it holds little in the excitement department, but if you're looking for a great middleweight bike, this could be the one. Now as for the comfort factor, well, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. Without a doubt, this is one of the most comfortable seats I've ever sat on. And I can say the same about the pillion seat as well. I mean, really, this is a street bike, but it's actually so comfortable you could go touring with it. And the handlebars, well, for me anyway, I'm not a huge sports bike fan, but handlebars are in the perfect position for me. So it's on to build quality. Well, Yamaha have an excellent reputation throughout the bike world for building superb machines, and the Fazer is no exception. It's put together so well and finished off absolutely superbly. I mean, the problem is with this, it's almost too perfect and can lack a little bit of character. Value for money. Now, we all like a bit of that, don't we? And if you're looking around for a bike, then don't rule out the Fazer. It is good value for money, priced at a tad over £5,000. And if you look around at the competition, there's Suzuki Bandit and Honda's Hornet. They too are quite well priced, but it depends on what the dealership or the manufacturer is offering at that time. Some are offering some great insurance deals. This is Group 12, so be careful. I reckon 8 out of 10. And last but not least, it's time for the street cred score. Oh dear, I mean 4 out of 10, I'm afraid. I mean, I do really like the bike, but let's face it, you wouldn't exactly drop your bags of shopping if it went past, would you? I mean, you could always buy one and customise it to make it a bit different, but then again, you may as well buy something else. But on the upside, I've heard it pulls a mean wheelie.